I'm Stephanie Mooring and I run Post-it Sticker Club, and I also have another website called The Launch Collective as well. They're two small businesses. I started one 4 years ago and the other one I just launched this year. And yeah, they're my two babies. Before joining the program, I'd been in corporate jobs where I found myself repeating the same things over and over again, and just having this feeling of stuckness is the only way to describe it. And I had two contracts that I was working on where through the contracts, I felt burnt out and I felt like I couldn't really control the situation. And I'd been referred Rena services from a friend, and that's when I decided to do one-on-one coaching with her. And then when this course came up, I was a bit hesitant to do it, to be honest. I thought I needed one-to-one coaching, and I thought maybe the structure of the program wouldn't be tailored to me and therefore maybe not useful. But it was absolutely fantastic. So the catalyst for me signing up was really being in experiences in the corporate world where I found myself making the same mistakes over and over again. I wasn't aware at the time, but I had confidence issues, people-pleasing issues, and a whole lot of other things going on. And so it was really an accumulation of a lot of things, but I suppose the real catalyst for me just saying, this is enough, I need to do something and change and take the dive to do the course was, just an experience I had at work where I found myself yet again in the same pattern of feeling stressed and burnt out, and same things going on again. What drew me into the program was, I knew Rima's coaching would be brilliant. So that, for starters, I knew would be fantastic. And also having it in a group environment, I thought would be great as well, because you could, chat to other women about their experiences and learn from them. And thirdly, as well, the structure sounded interesting. Like it was kind of going to cover everything that I thought I needed. And it was brilliant. I didn't realize how brilliant it would be. For me, the thing that stood out and the thing that I felt in the program that I need the most was probably the confidence piece. In the end, I realized I needed it all, but that confidence piece, to be able to focus on that for at least 4 weeks with like a solid understanding, that was brilliant. That really drew me in. Well, when I came to the program, I didn't realize how much I was missing. And I think the thing that I wanted to overcome the most was this feeling of stuckness. I couldn't really articulate that feeling of stuckness, but it felt like I was always doing the same things that drove me to do patterns of behavior that were just really kind of not working for me. And I knew there were things like in my career and not necessarily my personal life, but just in my career and my small businesses that I knew I was holding me back, but I didn't know how or why. So I really just wanted to overcome that. And and I realized at the end of it, there was just so many things that I sort of had to work through. And and I really did overcome that stuckness. I don't feel that stuckness anymore. What I really wanted to achieve was a dream to be able to work for myself. And I did achieve that through the course. Now, that may seem like an easy magic switch or something like that. It wasn't that simple. It was a case of having that confidence. I needed to build that confidence to be able to do that. It was really just so many things I wanted to get out of it. Like, I think a lot of it does come back to that confidence piece. I think that's what I knew that was missing in certain scenarios. But what I learned through my one-to-one coaching was I didn't have self-trust. Just really to be able to have that confidence, knowing that I could trust myself to go work for myself and what that would entail, which sounds simple, but for me, that was actually quite a big thing. Oh, man, I feel so liberated. I'm so happy. It's hard to explain where I've come from and where I am now. In terms, like, if you knew me, I probably maybe seem like the same person, of course, but I just have a feeling of less resistance to things. like being quite introverted, I found I was resisting a lot of like maybe social interactions as well. Like I used to find them quite draining. And then I did notice straight away that I was like much more open to having to meet new people and that experience. And yeah, it's just opened me up in ways that I didn't think I could do. I didn't think I could do these things that I've been able to achieve. Well, now that I know what was going on, I didn't know at the time what was going on in my mind. And I was doing a lot of things where, you know, sometimes I would spiral, like things would happen at work and I would blame myself for it. I would take on way too much responsibility. I would just really take the weight of the world to me. And like I've always struggled with like lots of anxiety and all that sort of stuff. And that's shifted a lot, as in I know now that people pleasing, I see those habits, I can recognize them, I can spot them going on, and I can change it. Like you know, there's still some things which I do get stuck with, but I'm much better at changing things now in my mind. If I didn't take action and do this program, I'm 100% sure there's no way I would have gone and taken a leap of faith to have 2 businesses that I'm running myself now. I've done so many things since finishing a program to now. I would probably be stuck going to a day job that I don't really want to be at. Essentially, I would just not be doing a job that I want to be doing. That's 100% it. I would just be going through the grind, getting up daily, going to work, and just repeating the same pattern and being miserable. Yeah. Mind Matrix was referred to me by a friend. She'd had a lot of success on one-to-one coaching, so I decided, yeah, I'll give it a go, because I thought, you know, it was at the right time of my life to be doing this, and I think that's really important, to be ready to do some coaching. And when the course came up, yeah, I admit I was a little bit resistant to what I could possibly get out of it, because I thought maybe the structure might not suit me. But yeah, I knew working, like I spent probably maybe a year with Rima doing one-on-one coaching before I did the course. And so I knew Rima would be great. I really knew Rima would be great. So yeah, and when the course came and the group of women brought together was so fantastic as well. So I think just Rima's knowledge, her skills, Rima, the way she delivers the program has been brilliant. So yeah, I would say just the experience I've had with Rima, my one-to-one, is really what sold me into the program. And I knew that even though I was skeptical, possibly, I knew it would still be brilliant, and it exceeded that brilliance. It was beyond brilliant. I sometimes, sort of similar to like psychology, or at least you get a lot of psychology to it. And I'd been to psychologists before who were brilliant, of course, but I was very specific. I think compared to other courses is in this program, you get to know all the other women, and it's such a safe space that Rima will coach you on the spot, which I thought was brilliant, because you could learn in real time. And seeing other people learn in real time as well gave everyone all these aha moments. So I think that group environment, if you like being in group environments, yeah, I think that is what made it stand out. The content and the structure, I think this was the first time the program had been run, and it was really solid as well. So everything in there was so relevant to everyone. I didn't want to miss a second of it. So yeah, definitely the content, the delivery, the group of women as well is all what made it. And of course, Rima and her ability to keep this group of women all together and engaged for 16 weeks, which was a long time. If you're considering joining this program, I would say just do it, because I often think about where I would be if I didn't do this program. I would say just chat to Rima first, get an understanding, make sure it's right for you as well. I think that's really important. But if you're at a point in your life where you just want to overcome yourself and get out of your own way and just start being the person you want to be, then just sign up and just do it and go for it, and you will not regret it. My journey through the program was interesting. So I think I started off probably quiet, perhaps just, a little bit resistant to get to know the women. But yeah, from week 1 through to week 16, I felt the growth. And each week I could come back and say, hey, Rima, I'm excited to say I've had some progress. Yeah, and Rima just really created an environment for us where it was such a safe space. I knew already that Rima would create that sort of safe space for us, but it was a great place where we could all share our victories each week and be coached on the spot and learn from each other. And I think, yeah, what you put in is really what you're going to get out of it. So I found results week to week. It was so exciting. I just absolutely lapped it up. Yeah, so each session we showed up, we had the opportunity to share at the beginning what our achievements were through the week and if we'd noticed any progress. And yeah, Rima had brilliant delivery throughout the program of taking us through the content where we could pause and ask questions, and then the breakout rooms as well, where we got to meet all the different women. Usually we're paired up in groups of 2 or 3, and we often got to kind of coach each other in a way, which was really interesting, and you got to hear each other's stories, and everyone was really vulnerable in those breakout sessions. Everyone was really open. You got to really learn about the challenges, and it felt so relatable, and we became so close. Yeah, all the content was brilliant. That, I knew it would be, and it was fantastic content. The PDFs documents as well were great. They were useful. There were stuff which you could submit at the end as well, and go back afterwards. I know some people, and myself included, are going back through the content now, so it's good that you get to keep it at the end and just keep tracking your progress. Gosh, I got so much out of this, so much more than I had anticipated. To say it changed my life is true. Like, it changed my life. Like, I went from being someone who I didn't realize I had so many things that were holding me back. There were things like people pleasing, and I learned about external authority and perfectionism. Like, I never knew I had perfectionism. I had all these things going on that I had no idea. And now I'm at the point where I'm able to catch those things. And now it's really changed my life in the fact that I can't show up confidently. I'm doing things like, before I was like, I didn't really want to show up on my social media for my small business. I was just like really resisting it. Thought, no, I didn't know what to say to the camera and those sort of things. And now I'm just like, it feels normal now. It feels natural. There's still some things to work through for sure, but yeah, I'm just so excited. The feeling itself for me was just excited that now I feel like I can achieve what I want. Because before I was blocking myself. I was blocking myself in ways like I would tell myself stories. I can't do this because of X, Y, Z. I can't do this because of this is going to happen. I was telling myself all these stories that was just stopping me, and it was frustrating. It was just so frustrating. And one thing Reem and I often talk about is I get in my own way a lot. But yeah, I now feel like I can live. Like, it's just, that's the way I can describe it. I just feel like I can live now. I can achieve, I can live, I can do the things that I wanted to do. So the way I lead myself now is entirely different, because before I thought management leadership was the same thing. I thought to be a manager or a leader, it meant that you had to have this big personality. I thought you had to have this bravado. I thought you had to be the loudest voice in the room. I thought it was all that sort of cliche things, but now it's basically, I understand I can be myself and I can make decisions. And yeah, the way I lead myself now is just through capturing thoughts that don't serve me and just being kind to myself, really. I lead myself through kindness. I lead myself through just understanding that I will still make mistakes, but I'm going to learn. I will always learn from those mistakes. You can never stop learning. Yeah, I feel like a leader now. That's all I can say is I feel like a leader now, even if I'm just leading myself. Yeah. I said this before, but the thing that I keep coming back to is, where would I be had I not done this? Yeah, I had resistance going. I was sort of telling myself stories that it probably wouldn't be right for me, like the structure, it was maybe too structured, it wouldn't be bespoke enough for me. But for me, it was the right time in my life as well. I didn't know how much I needed this. And it's one of those things, it's hard to articulate what you're going to get out of it. It sounds like it's just a course, right? It sounds like it's just a course you could do and that anyone could run. But I think Rima has such a good knack for being able to coach on the spot. She never stumbles over anything. She is just spot on with everything. She's not perfect. She's a human being, but just, it was absolutely brilliant the way she could run the course and keep all these women engaged for 16 weeks. Chat to Rima if you want to do the course, see if it's right for you. Just make sure it's the right time in your life and that you're open to it, because 16 weeks is a long time to commit. It's worth it. It's absolutely worth it. The benefits to an organization for someone completing this program is that they will become a true leader, a true leader, not a manager who behaves in a way. They will become a leader which is going to actually inspire people and be calm and be present and be able to lead others. And they won't have egos. They will just be someone that is really going to inspire and create an environment where people will gravitate towards that person. So I would say everyone should do this. Everyone should do some sort of training where it builds their leadership, even if you're not going to manage people, even if you're not going to lead people. To be able to self-lead, it is so useful to any organization. It creates such a good culture for an organization. So it's hard to articulate just the brilliance of this. So you really just have to do it for yourself and see, and I would just say, if you're in that right time of your life to make a change and you want to move forward and you want to just feel a sense of freedom, then go for it, do it. Such a good investment.